Have you ever wondered if you're actually better at handling stress than you give yourself credit for? Maybe you look around and think everyone else has it figured out while you're barely keeping your head above water. But here's the thing. Stress management isn't always about appearing calm on the surface. Some of the most resilient people don't even realize how well they're actually coping. Today, we're exploring 6 signs that indicate you handle stress better than most people. You might be surprised to discover you already possess more of these qualities than you think. So if you've ever felt like you're not cut out for life's challenges, stick around. This might just change your perspective on your own strength. Sign number 1. You don't avoid difficult emotions. If you actually allow yourself to feel upset, anxious, or overwhelmed when stressful situations arise, you're already ahead of the game. Most people think handling stress well means staying positive all the time or pushing negative emotions away. But research shows that truly resilient people don't avoid their difficult emotions. They lean into them. Think about it this way. When you stub your toe, you don't pretend it doesn't hurt. You acknowledge the pain and take care of the injury. The same principle applies to emotional pain. When you allow yourself to feel stressed without immediately trying to fix it or push it away, you're giving your nervous system permission to process what's happening. This might look like letting yourself cry after a tough day, or admitting to a friend that you're overwhelmed instead of putting on a brave face. You're not wasting energy maintaining a facade when life gets messy. People who suppress emotions might appear to handle stress better in the moment, but they're storing up problems for later. You're dealing with stress in real time, which is the healthier approach. Sign number 2, you have flexible thinking patterns. You can shift your perspective when things don't go according to plan. This doesn't mean you're a pushover. It means you're mentally agile. Let's say you've planned an outdoor wedding and the forecast suddenly calls for rain. While some people spiral into catastrophic thinking, this ruins everything. You start brainstorming alternatives. Maybe you think about how cozy an indoor ceremony could be, or how romantic umbrellas might look in photos. This flexible thinking extends to setbacks in general. When you face a challenge, you naturally look for different angles or hidden opportunities. You might think, this isn't what I expected, but maybe it's leading me somewhere better, or what can I learn from this? This cognitive flexibility is like having a mental toolbox with multiple tools. When one approach doesn't work, you instinctively reach for another. That's a sign of someone naturally equipped to handle whatever life throws their way. Sign number 3, you maintain perspective. During crisis, when everything feels like it's falling apart, do you naturally zoom out and consider the bigger picture? This is one of the most powerful indicators that you handle stress exceptionally well. People who struggle with stress get tunnel vision during difficult times. Everything feels urgent and permanent. But if you can step back and remind yourself that this too shall pass, or in 5 years, this won't matter as much, you're demonstrating remarkable emotional intelligence. This shows up in small ways. When stuck in traffic, instead of road rage, you think, everyone will understand, or this delay isn't worth ruining my mood. During work crises, you remind yourself that you've handled difficult situations before. Maintaining perspective doesn't mean minimizing real problems. It means having an internal sense of scale. You distinguish between inconveniences and genuine emergencies. You understand that most problems are temporary and even serious ones are rarely as insurmountable as they feel. This acts like a natural buffer against stress, preventing you from getting completely consumed by challenges so you can think clearly and make better decisions under pressure. Sign number 4, you set boundaries. Without guilt, the ability to say no and mean it shows advanced stress management skills. If you can set boundaries around your time and energy without drowning in guilt afterward, you're protecting your resources before hitting empty. Boundary setting is stress prevention. When you tell a friend you can't help them move because you need rest or turn off your work phone during family dinner, you're being strategic about your well-being. This doesn't make you selfish. It makes you sustainable. Think of it like managing a bank account. You understand that energy and attention are finite resources. You make conscious choices about how to spend them instead of saying yes to everything until you're depleted. You're comfortable disappointing some people short-term to show up better for commitments that truly matter. You understand you can't pour from an empty cup, and you take responsibility for keeping yours reasonably full. Sign number 5. You have a support network you actually use. Being willing to ask for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you've cultivated relationships where you can be vulnerable and actually reach out when you need support, You're demonstrating sophisticated stress management. Many people have friends and family they could theoretically turn to, but don't access that support when times get tough. They feel like they're being a burden or think they should handle everything alone. But if you can text a friend when you're having a rough day, call your mom to talk through decisions, or ask your neighbor for help, when work gets overwhelming, you're using one of the most effective stress reduction tools available. This isn't about being dependent. It's about understanding that humans are social creatures designed to support each other. Getting outside perspective or practical help isn't failing. It's being smart about managing your resources. Your support network doesn't have to be huge. It might be 2 close friends, a therapist, or family members who really get you. What matters is that these relationships exist and you're willing to activate them when needed. Sign number 6. You practice self-compassion. During setbacks, if you treat yourself with kindness when things go wrong, you're displaying emotional maturity many people never develop. Self-compassion looks like talking to yourself the way you'd talk to a good friend in the same situation. When you make a mistake, instead of harsh self-criticism, you think, "That didn't go as planned, but everyone messes up," or "This is hard right now and it makes sense that I'm struggling." People who handle stress well understand that beating themselves up doesn't improve performance or prevent future mistakes. Self-criticism usually makes stress worse because now you're dealing with the original problem plus feeling terrible about yourself. This shows up in how you handle imperfection. Running late becomes "traffic was worse than expected" instead of "I'm so disorganized." Learning struggles become "This is challenging right now" instead of "I should just give up." Self-compassion doesn't mean making excuses. It means treating yourself as a human being who deserves understanding, especially during difficult times. This creates a stable foundation that helps you weather storms with resilience. So there you have it. 6 signs you might be handling stress better than you realize. You don't avoid difficult emotions, you think flexibly, you maintain perspective during crisis, you set boundaries without guilt, you use your support network, and you practice self-compassion. These qualities are all skills that can be developed over time. If you recognize yourself in some signs but not others, that's normal. Stress management is an ongoing practice, not a destination. Remember, handling stress well doesn't mean you never feel overwhelmed. It means you have healthy tools for navigating life's inevitable challenges. If you've been hard on yourself about how you cope with stress, maybe it's time to give yourself more credit. What do you think? Did any of these signs surprise you? Do you recognize yourself in these patterns? I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. If this video helped you see your resilience in a new light, consider subscribing for more content about psychology and personal growth. Understanding yourself better is always the first step toward living better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.